Alright guys, I would love to know what you think about this because we're going to be talking about Anthony Mackie today and the lead up to Captain America 4 because there was a little bit of controversy surrounding this, and today we're going to be touching on it. I'd love to know what you guys think. Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with many YouTube channels. Let's take a look at this post over here from Discussing Film. It has been everywhere the past few days. Anthony Mackie on the comparison being made between Red Hulk and Donald Trump. I hope as a country, we're tired of all the political jousting. Let's just go to the movies and chill the F out. We've made this, yellow, and it would have been the problem. That's actually true. And a lot of people, and I get it, before you comment down below, you're going to say something to the extent of, well, Captain America is a deeply political movie. I don't understand why people have to really, take something that is meant to be entertaining, okay? It really is meant to be entertaining first, and they're telling a unique story. Yeah, you know what? Politics could be invested in it, but that's part of the story. I don't get why everybody has to just take this into the real world and start spouting off about it, just like The Boys. I have just sat down and I've watched The Boys, but everybody is comparing it to just what's going on in the real world. And I'm sitting here like, okay, I get that. Yeah, you know what? Cool. But why can't we just enjoy the art? Why is that first thing that we have to take away from it? The problem with this, though, is, of course, Anthony Mackie did kind of, I don't want to say he started this, but he did have his play in the other side of it, kind of speaking on it politically, if that makes sense. So we're going to be taking a look at that clip today, and we're going to take a look at a couple replies. And as always, guys, I'd love to know what you think about this down below. But ultimately, I do agree that I'm tired of all the political jousting. I go to a movie to sit down and enjoy a movie. I don't go to a movie to receive any sort of political message. I don't come out of a movie and talk about the political implications of the world, comparing it to the movie that I just watched. I'm going to go, wow, Hulk was awesome. Anthony Mackie was awesome. I'm excited to see what's next, okay? Let's continue on. So this is the post of Anthony Mackie, and this is the only one that I could find over on X over here, so it's going to be a little bit low quality. This is the clip that people are kind of pushing back on because he did say that, but before that, he also said this, so people are kind of saying that it's damage control, but of course, listen to it for yourself.
For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term, America should be one of those representations.
And I hear him out because he's going to continue his point, okay? Obviously, that's going to stir up some drama, and it's very important to note before we continue with this is I keep my political opinions to myself. This is not what we're going to be talking about, and I'm legitimately, I'd like to hear from you in the comment section down below. I ask that you just don't assume anything about me. I keep those private to myself. I'm just sharing this because it's an interesting topic.
It's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity. Someone who is trustworthy and dependable.
You could, but the problem is you could say all of that stuff with still being Captain America. But the problem is, I understand where he was going with this. It's
kind of, this is kind of like an aspect of a dream coming true. When I was a kid, all of us as actors, I believe, want to get back to that day before someone told you no.
I don't know if he was backtracking a little bit here because I from what I've seen, I don't know much about Anthony Mackie personally, but he seems to be a pretty smart guy. He seems to be a pretty laid back guy. And I wonder if he was kind of like, oh no, perhaps I shouldn't have said that, because it seems like he's kind of like the gears are turning just a little bit, but I could be wrong. I could be overanalyzing that.
When you look out your door and you see a 5-year-old kid with a stick and he's slaying dragons to save the princess in the tower, that kid really believes there are dragons out there. That stick is really a sword and he's really trying to save that princess. And then one day somebody told him, no, there are no dragons, that's not a sword, and that princess is not there.
I don't think, because I used to do all that stuff, but I'm sure that happens. I'm sure that happens where it's like, okay, little Timmy, time to grow up now. I just kind of grew out of it because I always did that stuff when I was a kid. I just grew out of it, and I would imagine that's a normal process.
And all of his little dreams were dashed. So, as an actor, I feel like our job is to get back to the day where we see that dragon and we slay that dragon to save that princess. And that's kind of what this movie was for me.
I didn't really see anything wrong with that. The only thing that people are really pushing back on is that beginning.
For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term, America.
I just don't see why that was necessary. But the thing is, well, the other parts that he said were okay, but there was a little bit of clarification on that, okay, because I want to bring you over to another post before we continue on with that, okay? The same user, Master of the TDS, I don't know who this is, but this is what they had to say. Apparently, Anthony Mackie has clarified his stance on Captain America, and this is what he had to say, I guess, in an Instagram story or something like that. Let me be clear about this. I'm a proud American, and I'm taking on the shield of a hero like Cap is the honor of a lifetime. I have the utmost respect for those who serve and have served our country. Cap has universal characteristics that people all over the world can relate to. I just don't see the big deal. I just don't see the big deal. I understand if people were like trying to think like Anthony Mackie was just like trying to disrespect the military, if he was trying to just take the America out of Captain America. If that's the case, like, yeah, you know what? Captain America's Captain America. Keep him being Captain America. But I really just like, from everything that I've seen from Anthony Mackie, he seems to be a pretty chill guy. But again, like I said earlier, I don't follow the dude's career all that closely. It's just, I've never seen him get into any sort of controversy, and perhaps he misspoke, because the overall message of just Captain America being about dignity, him playing the actor, like, that all got through. I just didn't really look into what he said all that much, and I think people are kind of like overblowing it a little bit, because you have a couple replies over here, still comes off as damage control. But the problem is, I also understand that, because people were freaking out about that. No way, he says he's tired of political jousting after that corny speech he gave at the end of the Disney Plus show. That is another thing. But what is very, very, very important to note, because this is the biggest thing that people are talking about, the reply to this, okay? You mean the speech that was dialogue in a show that he didn't write and had to recite because he's an actor, and those were the lines that he was given. That is true. And if you want to take any sort of, like, if you want to look at that and you want to go, okay, well, that was a message just coming onto real life. That was a message for the viewer. That was meant to be taken politically, okay? Anthony Mackie probably didn't write it. It's always possible that he did write it, but you get the point. Like, he was acting, okay? Why do people keep grilling him like he's the one who made the movie? Leave bro alone already, right? This is just one of those things that I think people are looking a little bit too into, to be honest with you guys. I'm a duck, had this to say about it. Man just really wants zero drama and people to go to the movie. Let's see how that works out. But again, like, that's the problem. That's like, you have Disney being very, very political in general and trying to push on messages, but I don't think that I've ever seen Anthony Mackie like go out of his way. Like, yes, okay, it can be interpreted that way, and you know what? He might be. That might be the goal of his, okay? From what I've seen, he seems to be a pretty unproblematic guy, and I would imagine that he just wants his movie to succeed. That's the way that I'm coming from this, but if anybody says anything else, again, I haven't followed him all that well in the comments. Like, maybe you can change my mind in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. Very weird. Very weird, but if you want to talk about Captain America, if you want to talk about Marvel movies, why don't you check out this video on screen right now, breaking down all of my favorite moments from the Infinity Saga. I would love to have you guys over there. Thank you very much for watching, and take care.